Hi everyone, this is Kelly Beard of karmictools.wordpress.com, and this is your weekly forecast for October 7th through the 13th, 2018. This week opens with the Libra new moon. So often the Aries full moon, which we just had on September 24th, 2 weeks ago, shines a bright light on that which is no longer part of your identity or what you no longer desire in your life. You've grown and evolved over the last 6 months to a year, and as you begin to more fully express this new you, the more your partnerships and relationships will also have to adjust. The Libra new moon on October 8th is an excellent time to set your intentions for restored balance within your own being, enabling healthier relationships. Keep in mind that you will always attract your vibrational match. So how's your vibe these days? Inviting, welcoming, or guarded and doubtful? This Libra new moon is all about setting new intentions around conscious equal partnership, whether public or private, short-term or long-term. Balance is the key. This is the month to honor the scales that we must weigh our personal progress against our obvious manifestations in relationships, for better or worse. It's time to assess the strength and value of each one by one, and what kind of time, energy, and resources you have and are willing to invest further with this person, situation, or agreement. Soulful kinship and a sense of belonging are vital for most humans, and this year we will cultivate that more than ever. We can renegotiate as we go at regular intervals, and I highly recommend that you do. We can be part of something without being burdened by it. We can have soulful connections without losing ourselves. We can still love each other even if and when we don't agree. It's also time to define your individual terms and start renegotiating with those who matter, while releasing those people, situations, or agreements which do not matter anymore. Libra energy reminds you to connect with inner balance and cultivate community with love and compassion. While Venus, Libra's ruler, is currently extending her stay in Scorpio, reminding us that seeds germinate in the darkness and planting a garden or building a community can be funky yet necessary work. Its brief dip into Libra will remind you that the ultimate goal is beauty, peace, and balanced kinship. But in Scorpio, she will remind you that beauty is not always pretty, but also be fierce and powerful, deep and transformative, but above all, pure and honest. On the 10th, Mercury in the sky will oppose Uranus. This energy tends to make your mind work in overdrive. Okay, this is higher mind and lower mind getting together. So on one hand, there's an integration of a certain awakening that's been happening within you, and it is a little bit of a process of getting that balance. Once you've shifted your consciousness, your physical reality automatically has to follow, but it does usually take a little more time, energy, and resources to get it to match. Not that you think too much, but rather that you may tend to think, speak, and process information faster than usual. However, when you are moving that fast, sometimes you can overlook something vital. The negative expression of this energy tends to make you feel scattered and disorganized, but the positive side of it is making those brilliant connections that are normally just out of reach. Your perception and intuition are picking up so much in such a short period of time that you will want to review the details later to ensure you didn't overlook something crucial to your development. You may be impatient with the same old routine, but check in with your body to make sure it is not just your monkey mind playing tricks on you. It is a good time to breathe and be flexible, because if you are impatient with this energy, you are more likely to make mistakes, and I should say possibly have accidents, but this is mostly mental, so it's the making mistakes that happens. Anytime Uranus is involved, radical shifts and aha moments are totally possible on an internal level. However, on an external level, you may tend to blurt things out without proper forethought. Be sure to engage your heart and some kind of filter, especially when communicating with others this week. Okay, so that's what's happening, is Uranus is stimulating our minds, and we're having these awakenings and these ahas and making these instant connections, but there still has to be an integration or a grounding moment to make it real, to make it useful, to make it relevant even. Otherwise, it's just the monkey mind. Then on the same day, the 10th, October 10th, is Venus retrograde squaring off with Mars. Okay, so this is the second time they do this in a pretty close proximity. They squared while she was in Libra, and Mars was in Capricorn on September 8th. That was a very different vibration than our October activation when Venus is now in Scorpio and Mars is in Aquarius. So this is our inner sacred feminine and masculine pushing out of comfort zone and into new territory. That's the square aspect. It's challenging. It's time to grow. It's time to take some new steps into some new territory and be okay with it and work it out. The caveat with that is that she is in this retrograde period. So there's some adjustment that has to happen as well. It's time to recalibrate how you give and receive, as well as how you be versus do. It helps to know the signs and elements to consciously choose how to work with it. In this case, on October 10th, Venus is at 10 Scorpio and Mars is at 10 Aquarius, which is water and air, feelings and thoughts. In this case, your individual responsibility or obligation to certain relationships is challenged to grow to a whole new level or come to a natural end. Anytime Venus and Mars interact, the energy has to do with your relationships, both personal and professional, private and public. Squares create the necessary tension to catalyze action. As an individual, it is time to grow, change, and integrate your own Venus, values and priorities, with your own Mars, your desires and passion. However, on another level, it does activate sexual energy, as that too is the energy of creation. Your desires and inner sacred masculine is finishing its retro recalibration, because it's still in Aquarius. Until it moves on to Pisces, we're still working out that Mars retrograde from earlier in the year. Meaning who you are and what you want has likely fundamentally changed in the last 2 years. Now that you've altered what you want, adjustments must be made to accommodate the new values and priorities that you're about to recalibrate with the current Venus retrograde in Scorpio. This is happening October 5th to November 16th. So use this tension to clarify what you are building. Okay? So the Mars retrograde rewired who we are and what we want, and our direction, our choices, our action, our sacred masculine, what we want to do with our lives and that kind of thing. Now it's shifting to accommodate that new direction or that new choice or that new desire or that new identity. Now we have to change all the values and priorities to accommodate it because it's different. And that's what the square is pushing us to do. Like I said, it's a catalyst. It's the necessary tension to get you to be creative, to be that critical creative thinker, and work out your inner dynamic of masculine feminine. How much do you do and be? And how do you do it? And how does that have to change? And how has it evolved over the last 2 years? Because they both have a 1.5 to 2 year cycle between the two of them. Then we have on October 11th, the Sun squaring off with Pluto. So this is another one that happens in the spring and fall right now while Pluto is spending 16 years in Capricorn. So this is a challenge to grow out of your comfort zone into new territory. Also, another square. That said, with Pluto in Capricorn 2008 to 2024, twice a year for these 16 years, when the Sun is in Aries in the spring and Libra in the fall, we get an opportunity to grow and change in fundamental departments of life, which is the self versus other and home versus work. These are things we all have to deal with. Now, if you have Aries, Libra, or Cancer, Capricorn activated in your chart, then it's wired into your personal individual lessons as well. You're learning a lot more than the average bear about independence within the context of a relationship and how to balance home and work. And like I said, we all have to do that, but if it's activated, it's really part of your path. In this case and during these years, we are literally changing how we do all of this. Each year builds on the previous, and we are now more than 10 years into the 16-year process of transformation, and we still have access to incredibly potent energy. It is here that you have the most information to consciously work with, so set intentions for what you would like to get out of your conscious efforts and dedication over this time. Annually, the Sun helps us clarify, and when working with Pluto, it is usually what is not working, what has run its course and is ready to be composted into new life, new growth, and a new direction for self because of the Sun. Pluto is the purifier, distilling things back to their true and original essence. Fight that, and it can be painful. Work with it consciously, and it can be transformative and will heal at the deepest root of any challenge. You can use this activation to honor that which has become obvious or is highlighted in the here and now, and purge or purify this energy consciously. You are deeply supported for releasing old patterns and setting new conscious practices into action. Tie up any loose ends, close multiple chapters, mourn if you must, and move on. As you do that, you will feel lighter and brighter and more grounded in your true self, your evolved self, your emergent self. Then on October 12th brings our final activation for the week, and that is Mercury sextiling Saturn. So that's a good one. That means even after all that mental work that we had to do integrating Uranus's awakening and the processing of our masculine and feminine and the ultimate transformation of our individuality, Saturn's going to help us ground it and make some meaning out of it to the extent that our mental capacity can do that and handle that. This energy is really good for being able to objectively see what needs to be changed, fixed, or stabilized in your life or environment. One expression of this energy is a tendency toward depression or apathy, but a better expression would be facing what needs to be done and following through on what you have begun. You may feel the need to organize things at home or work, or perhaps take a class or workshop of some sort that will help you attain your current goals. Either way, be focused but not too serious. Balance in all things. It is when you focus on the lack and limitation that you feel overwhelmed and sometimes helpless. That's not the point of this energy. It's just time to do some serious thinking, tend to the details, take stock, and make changes accordingly. So it's be responsible for your thoughts and actions, basically. So thanks for listening. This is Kelly M. Beard of karmictools.wordpress.com, and I'm so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly at karmictools.com, or you can reach me through my contact page on the website. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key, but I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, or subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept, but there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for over 30 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. Namaste.